So I want to talk about something that's really changed my life recently, and I hope that if you take this on, then this can really help change your life. Basically, regardless of the situation you're in now, regardless of whether any goal you have is a business goal or a personal goal, life goal, whatever situation you might be in. So I specifically want to talk about speed and efficiency and goal setting in this because it's the one thing I lacked, and it's the one thing I'm focusing on now. So I'm kind of wanting to share my journey on this because again, I have kind of always been chasing the perfectionist and always been my own worst critique of especially my own creative work. And quite frankly, just realizing that inner perfectionist and knowing that it's actually not getting me anywhere. That was the biggest realization for me. And this has come out first in my work, in my business, and I can see it in the future reflecting into my creative work too, because I think that there are areas, even in creative work, where it is about efficiency still. It's about being swift and efficient with what you're doing. And I even say it now because I'm about to go into a specific topic to do with improving on speed. And a lot of it is limiting beliefs. And I still say the words efficiency and speed, which is still part of my limiting beliefs, but I'm more aware of it now. And just before I get into that though, like what I was saying with creative, being creativity, a lot of creativity is all about trying to make the thing again as perfect as possible. But that is the biggest struggle with trying to chase perfection is you never actually end up with the finished product because you obviously want to try see the thing through. You want to see your vision in reality or whatever it might be. But if you're chasing perfectionism, then you're never going to see what you've envisioned. Whereas finding the most efficient way to get that image in your mind will actually get you closer to what you perceive as perfection than this idea of perfection, if that makes sense. And what I mean by that, to kind of summarize really briefly, if it didn't make sense, is that, you know, me focusing on creative idea, if I've got a vision in my head for a film or an idea or a scene in a film, it's about finding the most efficient way to make that reality, make that vision and that reality in my head, that on screen, what I perceive. Instead of trying to make it as perfect as possible, I'm just trying to, as efficiently as possible, align with that vision I see in my head of what I want the shot to look like or what I want that scene to feel like or whatever it might be. And instead of trying to make each little micro piece perfect, it's trying to know that, right, I know that that piece is as good as it can be and it works well enough, and I'm more than happy with what it looks like. And then I know that this is happy. I'm happy with this, and this is what this looks like, and we can put these two together, and it is working in unison perfectly. And again, you end up making something that you perceive as near perfect. Obviously, inner critique might always come out, but it is about constantly battling that. And that's one of the first lessons I think in speed is we have this inner critique of trying to make something perfect, but in trying to chase perfection, we end up never finishing anything. And this is also linked to things like the shiny object syndrome, because this is a slightly different story, but I don't know if I've got to do this backwards or not, but with shiny object syndrome, we kind of have that first hoop. We have uninformed optimism, then we have the informed pessimism, and then we have the valley of despair in the middle, right? Before we go up to informed optimism, right? So that first uninformed optimism, then informed pessimism, leading to the valley of despair, that's that 90-day shiny object syndrome that so many people get trapped in. I've been trapped in literally thousands of times now. And noticing that and being aware of it, and then taking into account that inner perfectionist and trying to be a critique of your own work, and then using speed and efficiency to help you just literally changes the entire picture for you. Because what it's done for me is realize that little everyday things, even, especially let alone big life changing things, but even small everyday things is really where you see the most magic happen, and taking speed into account. For me, for instance, literally scheduling a call with someone now or today instead of tomorrow or next week. That's one of the biggest things that it's such a subtle shift, but it's simply not letting that delaying, which I get personally for me, I could probably talk about this for hours, but delaying has always been a massive part of what has caused me to have my downfalls. In I want to delay this thing because I don't really want it to happen, or it's too scary. I don't want to take that leap and make the progress I want to make in life, or with this thing specifically. But kind of just having that like almost like Richard Branson screw it, let's do it attitude of just like fuck it, let's go for it, like okay, we could have this call today, why can't we have it today? Then let's book it today, let's do it. Or can we book this thing from 3 weeks time to a week's time? Why can't we do it in a week's time? Okay, let's do it. Bring it sooner. And this is obviously an amazing thing in business and entrepreneurship of making things like moving the needle forward as quickly as you can, getting things sorted out as quickly as you can, applying pressure when you can, and just kind of getting things knocked out the park as efficiently as possible. But it applies just in every aspect of life, really, because this is why most of us don't end up ever getting anything done in a time span that we actually could get it done in. And so I think if you can just look at everything in your life or whatever you're trying to work on right now, like why is that 1 year goal 1 year? Why isn't it a 6 month goal or a 3 month goal? Why isn't that 10-year goal a 5 or a 3 year goal or even a 1 year goal? Why are you still delaying leaving that job, or why are you still delaying doing those calls or booking that appointment or scheduling that meeting, whatever situation it might be in, submitting that post or whatever situation it might be, right? You know, why are you delaying it? Because ultimately that's what's going to help you make the most progress. And that's where I've been with, to be honest, with cold calling, with interviewing people, with onboarding different people. We're just trying to make progress in my business and personal life. And taking into account simply applying pressure and just making small, simple steps in making small progress leads to the most biggest impacts in short term, like week by week, month by month life changes. Going from literally less than a month ago, I was cold calling myself, doing less than 50 calls a day, really. Now I'm doing 100 calls a day minimum, booking a good few appointments per week by myself, and I have 4 appointment setters calling as well. And I've interviewed someone to do, Facebook ads for me as well. And I'm going to be, onboarding clients like week by week. And yet, a month ago, it was just me cold calling myself, nobody else. And because I applied that pressure over these past month or two, over these past few months, to be honest, in different areas, but properly, like you've seen the momentum build up, you end up making exponential progress very quickly because you keep moving the needle forward in ways that you'd never ever imagine. So, regardless of your specific situation, maybe it's a relationship situation that you're delaying on and you need to make that decision. Maybe it is confronting your boss about a promotion or a raise. Maybe it's about trying, like, finally setting up that campaign for your business, the ad campaign, the email campaign, cold calling. Personal life, finally, signing up to that hobby or whatever it is, finally just doing that project, whatever it is, moving the needle forward, which I love that term, and just, making things happen sooner so that you can start finally making progress on them. And that's the biggest thing that's been helping me recently. So I hope it can help you in any way too. So the message of this video is speed and efficiency, and stop delaying, because I was delaying for many, many years and have been delaying. And delaying has just been the devil on my shoulder that hasn't helped me make any progress. And as soon as I applied pressure, good pressure, healthy pressure, and to take, being, efficient and had speed with my work, I have made more progress than I could ever imagine. So I hope this helps, and I hope that you can take this and apply it to whatever situation you're in and go make loads of progress. So yeah, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Like and subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.